know, since the beginning of the school year, right, Chief Becker's been coming in and doing the lessons of the DARE program with our fifth graders. And in that time, he's established a pretty positive relationship with all of you. And while helping you also to learn how to avoid the negative influences that you might face in life, and while also encouraging you to focus on your strengths and your potential. We are lucky to have Chief Becker as part of our Ryle Elementary family, and I want to thank him for all of his efforts. At this time, I get to turn the program over to him.
Well, I too would like to welcome everybody here today. It's nice to see almost all the chairs full. That doesn't always happen, but it's good to see that because all of you guys are what's going to make the difference in all of these guys' lives. You guys are going to be the ones that are going to make the difference in what they turn into and how they turn out. And today, the one thing that I had to do was I had to pick a guest speaker. It's not always something easy to do because I have to find somebody that the fifth graders are going to like. I have to find somebody that I think they can look up to and someone who's a good role model. So, I don't know, probably a month ago as I was driving around in the squad car, I was thinking of who I could get as a guest speaker, and I was thinking, it'd be nice if they have a connection to Ryle, it'd be nice if they know something about DARE, and it would be nice if I know that they're a great person. So as I was thinking about that, I thought, many years ago before I was a Ryle police officer, there was a guy who was a Ryle police officer, and then went to work for the Columbia County Sheriff's Office. And when he worked for the Columbia County Sheriff's Office, he also became a DARE officer. And he did the same thing with the DARE program that I do. He doesn't get any funding. He raises all of his own money to support all of the DARE students he teaches. So that's why I decided this year for the guest speaker, I was going to have Dennis Richards, the Columbia County Sheriff, and I'd like to welcome him.
Good afternoon, and again, congratulations. Just so you kids know how important this is to me, it took me 15 minutes to find my tie in the squad car. So it's something I normally don't like to wear, but it was important, and you guys were important, so that's why I grabbed it, but eventually found it. As Chief Becker mentioned, I started my career in the village of Ryle. I went on to the Sheriff's Department and put myself in this position as Sheriff. In 1995, I started teaching DARE for the Sheriff's Office, and at that time I was teaching 5 different schools. Eventually, as we all know, some of the rural schools are closed, some of the smaller villages, one has also went on to bigger schools to try to save money when times were tough. Kids, congratulations. Parents, loved ones, grandparents, thank you very much for taking time out of your day to help us all enjoy the special time with the kids. For you guys here and girls, just a little bit of background with me. One of the things that I always tell my students, I want to be able to go through the DARE program and 20 years down the road when we meet each other again, whether it's at Walmart or wherever, that you can't walk up to me and say to me, Sheriff Richards, I didn't know this. I want to make sure that at least everything that we have going on now in our communities and county, that I try to share that with you. I try to tell you things to be careful of. When I was your age, my dad was an alcoholic. And you all know what that is after going through the DARE program. My dad was a great, great, great man until he got drunk. Then he wasn't so great. We all knew that he loved us, but he was a different person. Many times, because he got drunk, and wasn't such a great person, my mom had to call law enforcement. Law enforcement would come, and I remember, as somebody your age or even just a little bit younger, seeing the deputies that would come to our house, and they all looked like giants because I was so small. But I also remember that when they ended up taking my dad to jail, I felt safe because I knew my dad wasn't going to say or do anything, at least for that night. But it was also a mixed emotion because I missed him. And I was still a little bit young yet to understand what totally was going on. So as I grew up, I wanted to be in law enforcement, whether it was a deputy sheriff or a police officer, because I knew how that made me feel when they came to help my family. And I think when that finally happened, when the opportunity came, when the DARE program started, and then Sheriff Lowe decided to start the DARE program, that was something that made me feel even better about being in law enforcement. So that's why I put in for it, because I could share my stories to a certain degree with my DARE students. And I wasn't just reading from a book. A lot of times I was, and still am, talking about my personal experience. So you guys got a lot more trouble to deal with now than we do. And one of the things that you guys have dealt with during the DARE program was bullying. You know, many of us sitting out here, when we were angry with somebody, whether it's at school or away from school, we had to see them in person more than likely before we could say how mad we were at them. Nowadays, people can go home, get on their computers. They can get on their telephone and start sending messages that are very mean and sometimes maybe even illegal. We didn't have to worry about that. You guys do. And I'm not quite old enough to where my grandchildren have set the DVR and everything. I was almost at VCR, almost ate myself there. But the DVR, but you guys are going up with electronics to where some of us had to try to catch up. So for moms, dads, grandmas, and grandpas to try to sit back and regulate that, it's nearly impossible. So even though myself and Chief Becker and everybody out here is here to help you and show that we are proud of what you've just accomplished, we need your help too. We need you to try to carry on the things that Chief Becker has showed you through the DARE program, that your teachers show you, that your parents and grandparents, older brothers and older sisters teach you. Because without your help, Chief Becker and I, we're not going to be able to stop the problems that we have going on right now. Not without your help. Again, congratulations. Thank you all for coming.
The next part of our program is 6 lucky students. Well, some of them might not think they're so lucky, but they get to come up here and read their letter they wrote. And the way DARE originally designed it was that you were supposed to write an essay, and I stole this from some other DARE officers, but they had an idea of, rather than write an essay, how about we write a letter to our parents? And the reason I switched it over to that is everyone's going to get a copy of their child's letter, plus they're all posted out on the hallway out there. But hopefully it won't be for years down the road, but for some people, unfortunately, because we all know we make mistakes, but we're going to learn from them, it might be next year. But I hope if your child does make a mistake, you can go find that DARE report out of the file cabinet, pull it out, have them read it, and hopefully that can reinforce what they've learned so they can get back on the right track. So with that, we will start with Dylan Freeman.
Dear Mom and Dad, Chief Becker was our teacher for DARE class. He came almost every Thursday. DARE means Drug Abuse Resistance Education. The DARE decision-making model is a decision and all the steps to it. It also means define, assist, respond, evaluate. Some facts I have learned in DARE class. damages your body. When you smoke, you'll have yellow teeth and bad breath. And 75,000 people die every year from alcohol in the U.S. And 400,000 people die from tobacco. Smoking cigarettes interferes with how your brain works. My goal in life is to be an NFL star or an NBA star. If I do drugs, I'll be fined a lot of money. I will also get kicked out for life. I will also play terrible. I promise Mom and Dad I will never smoke or chew tobacco, so I will be able to play football and basketball. I will also live a very happy life.
Dear Mom, Dad, Stephanie, and Caleb, almost every Thursday, Chief Becker came into our classroom to teach us how to be safe and to not take drugs. I will talk about this later in my letter. DARE means Drug Abuse Resistance Education. Here are some facts I learned in DARE class. We talked about why drugs are bad for us. Did you know drugs can hurt your life right away? When you take them, they can ruin your life. Another thing that I learned was that each year people who sell tobacco meet new customers because their old customers are dying. The third thing that I learned was instead of yelling at someone and getting mad at them, you can use good communication instead. I learned that I could help someone that is having a hard time with taking drugs or trying to stop smoking. Also, I learned what smoking can do to you. It can make you need a hole in your throat to breathe and can kill you from smoking a lot. Those are a few of the facts I learned from Chief Becker. My life goal is to not take drugs because I don't want to ruin my life. Another thing is, I want to help people not take drugs. The third thing is, I want to be a good citizen. I promise to make sure to stay healthy. Another promise I make to you is that I will make good choices in the future. And I will not take drugs because I don't want my life to change. Thank you, Chief Becker, for teaching our class about DARE.
Dear Mom, Steve, Dad, and Megan, this year we have been doing a class called DARE. DARE means Drug Abuse Resistance Education. Chief Becker comes in every Thursday to talk about why we should never take drugs, how they can ruin your life, and how to make good choices. We also learned how to use good communication skills to solve some of our problems. This year in DARE, I have learned that there are 200 chemicals in tobacco smoke and chew, and that tobacco smoke can cause lung cancer, which could cause you to breathe through your throat. Another thing we learned is signs of stress, which can tell you if you are stressed out and need help. Also, we learned the 5 W's of reporting bullying, and they are who, what, when, where, and why. We also learned to say no to someone who offers you drugs because you may not know what that kind of drug will do to you. My goal in life is to stay drug-free so I can have a better life. And another one of my goals is to do what I learned in DARE for my family. Also, my goal is to use good choices so I will not end up like the people who do drugs and tobacco. My promise is to not take drugs, alcohol, and tobacco stuff like smoke and chew. Another promise is to make the right choices so I can live and have a better life. Love, Gavin Graham.
Dear Bob, Chief Becker came to our classroom and taught us about what is good for your body and what is bad for you. He came almost every Thursday and talked about drugs, peer pressure, alcohol, and a lot more. DARE means Drug Abuse Resistance Education. Here are some of the facts I learned in DARE class. Over 400,000 people die each year from tobacco-related causes. There are over 200 known harmful chemicals in cigarette smoke. Chewing tobacco can cause mouth cancer, tooth loss, and other health problems. The last fact I want to share with you is almost 50,000 people die every year from secondhand smoke. I think it is important to stay drug-free because I want to go to a good college so I can become a cop or a firefighter. I promise you, Mom, I won't do drugs because they are bad for me. I also will try my best in life.
Dear Mom and Dad, almost every Thursday Chief Becker came in and talked to us about DARE. He taught us what DARE means. The letters in DARE stand for Drug Abuse Resistance Education. He also taught us how to respond to pressure. Here are some facts I learned in DARE class. Smoking can dry your skin and cause wrinkles. More than 400,000 Americans die from tobacco each year. Smokers have more colds and upper respiratory problems. Cigarettes contain nicotine, which is a powerful substance that causes addiction. There are 75,000 alcohol-related deaths each year in the United States. My goal in life is to stay drug-free because I want to be good at sports and have a good career. If I took drugs, I would not be able to do that because drugs can cause memory loss and slow reflexes. My promise to you is to not do drugs so I don't become one of the 400,000 Americans who die from drugs. Love your old.
Dear Mom and Dad, Chief Becker came in almost every Thursday and taught us facts about drugs and what they do to you. He also taught us what DARE stands for. Drug Abuse Resistance Education. He also taught us facts about good choices and how to make them. Some facts that I learned are that cigarettes and chewing tobacco have 200 known chemicals in them. Another thing that I learned is that there are 75,000 alcohol-related deaths each year and 50,000 tobacco-related deaths each year from second-hand smoke. I learned that peer pressure is the reason that some people do something or it influences them to make a bad choice. I also learned that on everything that can hurt you, such as alcohol and tobacco, they have a Surgeon General warning to notify you about the danger of the product. Another important thing that I learned was the DARE decision-making model. It stands for Define, Assess, Respond, and Evaluate. These are some of the facts that I learned in DARE. My goal in life is to go to college and get a job in marine biology. If I don't stay drug-free, I will not be able to complete my goal because they wouldn't let me get into the college or get any good job. That's why it's important to stay drug-free. I promise Mom and Dad that I will stay drug-free so that I can live a healthy and long life. Love you.
R-B-E-I.
I won't trust, I won't give in.
I'm gonna call the shot in my life.
Don't push me, don't press me.
Don't call me friend when all you wanna do is run me down.
It's time for this to end. Check your attitude at the door. I do not want to score.
I only want to win in this drug war.
Well, fifth graders, now it's my turn that I get to speak a little bit, hopefully not too long. But I realized one thing that I forgot. Did everybody take home the report card yesterday? You did? Did everyone? Well, you should have. Did it have a grade in there for dare? You didn't look? Did anybody get an F? There wasn't a grade in there. What does everybody think they got? I think everybody got an A+, so that's a good thing. Everybody's going to graduate today. I know you guys are worried about that. But everyone did very well in DARE. And first I have to start out with my thank yous to Mr. McGuire, Mr. Vetter, Mrs. Carney, Mrs. Fletcher, for letting me come in and teach DARE. It takes me about 45 minutes for each class. And like I said, I came in just about every Thursday, and I truly do enjoy it. It is a fun thing to do. It's fun to see them grow. It's fun to see the ones who are afraid of me when I first come in the first week that are my best friends today. That is probably always really fun. And one thing I do need to thank is if my DARE role models could stand up. You guys knew I was going to do this to you. We have Noah Hollander, Trevor Carney, Alex Lang, Amber Blazik, Olivia Hart, and James McGuire. You guys can sit down. They had a pretty tough job. I think it was 2 weeks ago. They had to come over here and sit in one of the nice little chairs in front of all of the fifth graders. And the fifth graders got to ask them any questions they wanted to. There was questions about alcohol use. There was questions about bullying. There was questions about if they're going to get locked in their locker, if they're going to be able to get their locker open, all of that. But I think it's a good opportunity for the fifth graders to see that when you get in high school, it's not as bad as everybody thinks it is, and that there are good people out there. And fifth graders, I think I've given you guys the tools, at least I hope I've given you the tools. We've talked about alcohol, we've talked about tobacco, we've talked about some drugs, we've talked about bullying, we've talked about peer pressure, we've talked about different response styles and how to remain confident. I've given you those tools to put in your toolbox. And you have to remember what they are and use them when there's times to use them. And like I said about the DARE decision-making model, the reason you need to review all your decisions is we're all going to make mistakes. But every mistake we make, we need to learn from it so we don't make it again and then we can move on. So, and like I told you guys before, you know where I am, you can always find me. And a perfect example of this was last night. I was at a wrestling match, and I don't even remember who it was, but two girls saw a problem in the school. Guess what? They felt comfortable enough to come up to me and tell me about it, and then I went and took care of the problem. If you see something happening, don't be afraid to come tell me. I'm not going to tell anybody who told me. I'll just go and take care of the problem. And then I had to decide what I was going to speak to the parents about. So first I asked my son Jack for help, but he thought I should show you guys everything I had in my bag. Well, the fifth graders are interested in that, but I don't think it's that neat. So as I was thinking about what I should speak about, I know in the past I've spoke about bullying, I've spoke about cyberbullying, I've spoke about drugs, especially heroin, and I was thinking, what could I speak about? And I thought, most of the kids that I have problems with, usually they do not have a very good upbringing, or they don't have someone at home that they can count on, unfortunately. So I did some research, and I was looking at things on parental involvement. And I know that sometimes it's hard, but some interesting facts I learned was children who have parental support are likely to live or to have better health as adults. Students with involved parents tend to earn higher grades, have better social skills, and are more likely to graduate and go on to post-secondary education. Children are more likely to be socially competent and have better communication skills when they have parents who are sensitive to their needs and emotions. And the one that struck me the best was teens who are monitored by their parents are 1/4 as likely as teens with hands-off parents to smoke, drink, and or use drugs. And then, of course, I always have the question from some parents, well, how do I remain involved? And as I was searching on the internet, I found 100 ways to be involved and kind to your child by Alyssa Marquez. And it'll take me a while to read through them because there is 100. Tell your child I love you. Tell your child I love you no matter what. I love you even when you are angry at me. I love you when I am angry with you. I love you when you are far away. My love for you can reach you wherever you are. If I could pick any 10, 11, or 12-year-old in the whole wide world, I'd pick you. I love you to the moon and then around the stars and back again. Thank you. I enjoyed playing with you today. My favorite part of the day is when I was with you and we. Share the story of their birth or adoption, about how you cuddled with them when they were a baby, the story of their name, a story about yourself when you were their age, the story of how their grandparents met, what your favorite color is, sometimes you struggle too, that you're holding hands and give 3 squeezes a secret code that means I love you, what the plan is, and what you are doing right now. Play charades, hopscotch, board games, hide and seek, Simon Says, 20 questions, I Spy on Long Car Rides, catch. Pretend to catch their kiss and put it on their cheek, that their tickle tank is empty and you have to fill it, that their high five is so powerful it nearly knocks you over, that you are super ticklish, that you are an explorer in the amazing world of your own backyard, and that it's party day. Try to get enough sleep, try to drink enough water, try to eat decent food, try dressing in a way that makes you feel comfortable, try calling a friend the next time you feel you're about to lose it with your kids, give a gentle touch to show approval, dancing in the kitchen, to get your kids to bop the music with you in the car, showing your kids that you can do a somersault or handstand or cartwheel, keeping a side to yourself, using a kind voice even if you have to fake it. Read a book of silly poems, a story, and then act it out. Your favorite childhood book, when the afternoon is starting to go astray, outside under a tree, in the library kids corner, the comic book that you love, that they're not so hot on, and about age-appropriate behavior so you can keep your expectations realistic. Listen to your child in the car, listen to silly songs together. For that question that means your child really needs your input, 1 second longer do you think you have patience for, and for the feelings behind your child's words. Ask, why do you think this happens? What do you think would happen? How shall we find out? What are you thinking about? What is your favorite part of the day? What do you think this tastes like? Show your child how to do something instead of banning them from it, how to whistle with a blade of grass, how to shuffle cards, how to cut food, how to fold laundry. Did you hear that? How to look up information when you don't know the answer, affection to your spouse, taking care of what's important. Take time to watch construction sites, look at birds, to let your child make things with you, to walk together, to dig in the dirt together, to take a task at your child's place, or just to sit with your child while they play. Trust that your child is capable, that you are the right parent for your child, that you are enough, and that you can do what is right for your family. Delight, and I don't like this one, but I'll still read it. Clean your child's room as a surprise. Put chocolate chips in their pancakes. Put a love note in their lunch. Make their snack into a smiley face shape. Make sound effects while you help them do something. Sit on the floor with them to play. Let go of the guilt. Let go of how you thought it was going to be, and let go of your need to be right. Give a kind look, a smile, a kind touch, a chance to connect before you correct so that your child can actually hear your words. Your child a chance to work out their frustrations before helping him. A bath when the day feels long, and a hug. And the last one, it says you choose for yourself. And the only one that I thought that was missing is teach your children why discipline is important. Everyone always asks me, how can we do things with our kids? Well, I don't know how many minutes it just took me to read through 100, but if you did 3 of those every night, it would probably take a lot of things, and your child's going to respect you, and in turn, they're going to learn how to be a good child, adult, student, everything that is. So once again, I want to thank everybody. I want to thank you 5th graders for the opportunity, and I guess we can hand you all the graduation diploma.
Michaela was all flustered, I think, because in practice I called her Giggles Dials, and so I think she was amazed that I just called her by her first name, so that's probably what threw her off. Before we finish up here today, I just wanted to congratulate both 5th grade classes and tell them what an awesome job they did, and I hope that everything that you've learned since the beginning of the school year with Officer Becker and the things that you learned here today, and all of these things that we've talked about, and stuff that Sheriff Richards said. I hope you guys take all this in. It's kind of hard to take it all in today, but I really want you to think about it and not just go through the motions, that this becomes a lifestyle and life choices for you, instead of just, yeah, we went to DARE, graduated, now it's over. It's going to continue for the rest of your life, and I really hope you take all this to heart. And if you do have issues or questions or concerns or something comes up, any of the people in this room that you see, you can talk to, whether it's your teachers, your guidance counselor, your principal, Mr. Vetter, Officer Becker. Even you might see, like Mr. Richards said, you might see him somewhere in the store or out and about or at a restaurant. Please talk to one of us if you feel like you need help, because that's what this is all about. It's not just to go through the motions. It's to actually learn something and to help you make better choices and become better people and become better citizens. So I hope you take this whole program to heart and not just have it be done here today. With that note also, I really, really want to thank everyone who's helped out, but especially Chief Becker, because he put so much time and effort into this program, and it's been a number of years that I've been in 5th grade now during this, and I'm amazed at how much he does and puts into it. And like he had said, this isn't something that's funded. This is something he does his fundraisers. He does the toy show at the high school, do they call it FFA toy show? Just the fun toy show. So it's a big toy show, and the money that he raises from that helps go to pay for stuff for DARE. The things that, can you kids tell some of the things that Officer Becker gave us during the course of DARE this year? DARE, with these DARE shirts are one of the things that it paid for. Brett? Rulers. Pencils. The DARE books. We have books that we go through every week for part of their curriculum. Bailey. Erasers. Football. What was it? The t-shirts. Yep, we got the t-shirts. Danielle. Soccer ball. Imani. We got a whole bunch of different balls for the playground. And so all these things that we get every year that Officer Becker gives them to us are things that he has to pay for, not through the police department, not through the school district. It's just through fundraisers. So if you ever want to help support DARE, you can always just give a donation, or you can go and help support at the toy show, help set up, help pick up, whatever. Just talk to Officer Becker to see what you can do to help, because I think it's a great program. And I was amazed to find out when I've been at different workshops how many school districts do not have DARE. Big school districts. I mean, we're pretty lucky. We're a very small school, and we still have this, and there's many districts, and I'm sure Mr. Richards can even attest, in the county alone that do not have DARE anymore. So I'm shocked, and I just think we're so fortunate, and I really think we need to give Officer Becker a huge hand and to thank him for all the work. We would also, as a 5th grade class, like to give Officer Becker a token of our appreciation. And we're way behind on our pictures for his office, and he'll be getting some more pictures that we're behind on, but we have a gift for him as well that the 5th graders put together as a donation. And thank all of you for coming, and I hope you too continue supporting your son or daughter and friends and whatever, and just help us be a really good community. Thank you.
Well, again, congratulations, 5th graders, and I want to thank everyone who came today. And if you'd like, there's the DARE reports are hanging on the wall out there. There's also some refreshments and a few snacks you can have. and we'll also be taking pictures. So any parents who want pictures will be over underneath the basketball hoop. Thank you again.